Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Everybody, welcome back. It's another great day of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. Selling, investing, talking about it, all things real estate. We've got you covered. Kelly, how are you doing today?
Great. We've got you covered. We do, actually. And it's interesting because I've had several people reach out and just kind of ask a couple questions about the market. And, it's kind of nice to hear that feedback, as always is, right? When people are listening and getting some value from this. So fantastic.
Absolutely. So today, asking about, this market, everything, I know that we're in a weird market right now where there are so many buyers and not so many sellers. And a question that I've been having, that I've been wondering how people are doing this is, what is your pricing strategy in this kind of market? Do you price it a little bit lower to drum up all that competition? Because it's going to go probably above that in most cases. Or do you price it a little bit higher because that people are still going to pay it? I'm very interested in kind of what the best strategy is for pricing your listing right now. So Kelly, dive into it. What are you guys doing? What strategy are you taking?
Okay, love it. So we're gonna dive into this because this is good. And I got a story, Elizabeth, because we're in the trenches, right? Mm-hmm. So we're in the trenches. My team's in the trenches, and so we always have some good stuff to kind of like bring to people. That's real life stuff that's happening, right? And some success stories, right? Or failures. Either way, you can learn, right? So before I get to that story, though, the short answer, and for those guys who are super ADD, right, is price it to the market value today. Okay. Well, how do I know what that is? Well, that's another podcast for another time, right? With how to effectively do a CMA, which we say here, never do the CMA, right? Always call it a market valuation, because you want to be different, or an appraisal style market valuation, right? So that's huge. You just by that alone, you're different. So once you have done that, what you got to do for every single property that you are going to potentially sell or help someone sell, then you want to, in this market, you want to price it where the market is. And that's going to be tough sometimes because people think, right, they know it all, right? Especially residential real estate, right? It happens a lot. In any market, by the way, but this market especially they do, because why? Because homes sell in a matter of hours or days, right? Right now, pretty much anywhere in the country. So they want to tell you how to do your job, or they won't want to use you at all. One of the differentiators that you can do is tell them in this situation to price it at market value. The reason why is, short answer again, is because I'd rather have two people or more push me up than me already be up on the second floor trying to pull them, mm-hmm. right? Because mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but like if I'm sitting if I'm crowd surfing at a concert, right, and somebody wants to push me up, several people want to do that, I don't have to exert much effort, right?
Mm-hmm. Just let it happen.
Yeah, let it happen, and then magically you just don't fall on the ground, right? People keep you up, and you're crowd surfing, right? And just pre-COVID, of course, and and everything's great, and you're having a good old time. You're just having a good time. No effort is being used. But what if you were on the second floor of this concert hall, whatever, right? And you were trying to pull just one person, just one, from the ground up. I mean, I don't care how strong you are. That's a lot harder to do, right? You're going to exert a lot more energy. It's going to be much more of a challenging uphill battle. So that goes right back to the real estate pricing, right? That analogy.
It leaves more room for negotiation too, right? Yeah. You're exposing yourself to have more negotiation at that point, where you might have to give a little bit to get somewhere that you want to be, right?
100%. That's right. That's exactly right. And people sometimes they don't realize this because they don't trust it, right? What they see on the paper is what is the only thing that's real to them, right? And unfortunately, in this example, before I go there, let me just give you the example, okay? So there's a property, and this was actually not even ours. So I'm going to steal someone else's thunder that, some other agent at Marketplace. So, because I don't want to say that it's always us doing the phenomenal things, right? But there was I'm getting ready right now as we speak to put a house on the market here in a couple of days for a client of mine. Well, his question was, where should we price it at? How timely, right? So I jump in, do the research, and he's good. And he's someone I don't have to convince, right, to do whatever it is that should be done, because he past client trusts that I'm going to do the right thing for him, which I'm certainly going to do. But you have to have an opinion, right? An opinion is price it at market value. So I jumped in, and it just so happened that all the properties in North Phoenix where he lives that were the most comparable that just sold in the last 2 to 3 months, not 6 months, right? Because this market is changing every month, has sold between 402 and 425. And there were 3 of them. Okay. And they were all a little bit larger than his. Now, his house is nicer than those 3 on the interior, but it's about 200 square feet less than these properties. Now, the good news is there was a pending under contract property that was also very, very similar to his. That was arguably a little nicer, superior to his on the interior, but not by much, right? He has a nice house on the inside. That property is now pending at 450, right?
Jeez. Mm-hmm.
450. And here's a cool thing that as an agent you need to pay attention to, right? Because I would say maybe the average agent or newer agent may not catch this. But in looking at the pending property, their original list price was 425, but it's pending at 450. How could that possibly be, Elizabeth?
Competition, multiple offers.
Competition. Yes. That's the mother of all amazing things that happen in real estate right there. So
drive the competition. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where the agent probably did a great job. They probably had 2 people minimum, and they went to 3 or 4, who knows how many offers. And the agent inserted herself in that situation and did a great job, just kind of pitting buyer off buyer, and then drove the price up for her client. And they are under contract for 450. Now, how that's going to appraise is another whole conversation, right? Because that could
go back and listen to our appraisal
yes,
on the buyer side. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Good plug, Elizabeth. Good plug. But that's another conversation. So they did a great job of doing that. So now, my advice to my client, and there's a phone call I had with them literally just this morning, was success leaves clues. Why would we change anything? Because our house is very similar to that property. And you could argue maybe just not quite as nice on the inside, but close. But it had some other things that were really nice. The curb appeal, the exterior paint was nicer, that kind of thing, right? So let's say it's a wash and they're equal. The square footage is off by like 15 square feet, right? They're almost bottom matches. Exactly. Yeah. Doesn't matter. So, and the market's kind of still doing this a little bit with pricing. So it's going up on an upward trajectory. So why not be at least at 425? Even if you're making the argument the house is not quite as nice as this comp, okay, fine, 425, because the market's still increasing a little bit day by day, week by week. And we're going to expect to have the same thing happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically copy that process to some degree, price it at 425. He agrees. And whereas I would argue, Elizabeth, that in that same example, that seller, if they would have priced at 450, would not be under contract for 450. I can almost guarantee you, as sure as I sit here today, right? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have a launch open house. That's a whole system that we have. And then we're going to have offer deadline next Monday, review it. And then hopefully we get some competition going and that sort of thing too. So that's the perfect example where at 425, boom, you get 450. If you price at 450, you're not getting 450 in that situation.
You might get higher than 425 maybe,
correct,
but you leave yourself more opportunity to price it at market value. And because I think that as a buyer, just because that's all I've been in the real estate world as a buyer, I think you see that lower price, or more fair price, and that makes you want it more, right? Like this is in my my budget. This is great. I want this. It kind of gets your gets your competitive edge out, and it's only priced at this. Well, I'm willing to go up this high or whatever.
That's right.
So
the psychology of a sale, right? Why do you think Walmart has everything priced at $19.98 or whatever, right? Or $18.97, right?
It's below the $20 or whatever it is. Yeah.
That's right. If it's $20 or $21.03, I'll pass. Keep going to the next aisle, right? But $18.97, yeah, let's try it. That item, whatever it is, So it's very similar. So you're 100% right. The psychology of that sale.
Just a thing with that too. I think that opens you up for more, when people are searching in, Zillow or whatever it is, you set your price limits. you still can get more than your 425 or whatever it is that people are willing to pay, but they might you cast a little bit wider of a net when you have, maybe somebody has their thing capped at 440 or whatever it is. I think that you get more eyeballs on it that way then.
100%. And what you just said applies in a normal market as well. That aspect, right? So let me ask you a dumb question. Are there more buyers in the $200,000 price range or in the $2 million price range?
I'm going to go with 200,000.
You are the winner. You're correct. Like by a lot, right? And so every you can argue every $25,000 to every $50,000 segment that it increases, that buyer pool, think of a big circle. A circle gets a little bit smaller, all the way up to 5 million, 10 million, 25 million, 100 million, or even more in some of these beach crazy houses in California and Florida or whatever, right? So that being said, you're right. If you can be at 425 as opposed to 450 in a normal market, you're still helping yourself because the fact that more buyers reside in that 425 price point. I give you examples all day long on that one in terms of people going, when we actually adjusted the price down in a normal market, right? When you actually don't sell the house in 2 days, then where people are going, well, hold on here. This house is awesome. We're gonna make an offer, right? And I'm like, my question was, well, we've been on the market for 25 to 30 days. Where were you guys then? Oh, we didn't know. We didn't see it. Why didn't you see it? Oh, because my buyer's capped at 425. And so you would think they'd peak, right? 435, maybe 450, knowing they could probably negotiate in a normal market that much, but they don't. Not everybody, right? And so you have to help them help you.
I think even if they have the budget technically up a little bit higher, but they want to stay below, they're like, oh, I don't want to use all my budget. I want to stay below this. And then it even gives them room to go a little bit higher. But especially in this market right now, people are probably looking at things that are a little bit priced below their budget because they know that the competition is going to drive it up anyway. So it's kind of giving them that preface there.
Which, by the way, is one of the secrets or hacks on how you help a buyer get a property in this market, right? If they're pre-approved to 500, you probably shouldn't offer, it depends on your micro niche market, right? But maybe you don't offer anything over 450 because it's going to go up 50K.
Exactly.
If you're at 495, you don't have a chance, right? So
you gotta include that
buffer.
The buffer, yes, exactly. Yeah. you need a competitive buffer in today's market. So
yes, that's right.
Well, wonderful. Well, there you go. There is Kelly's suggestion, his recommendation on how you correctly price a house in today's market. Stay at market value. You're going to drive up some competition. You're going to, it's still what the house is worth and what, you should get for it. So don't lowball, and go way low, but stay right at market value. It's the way to go.
Yeah. In any seller's market, right? That's what you do.
And if you guys have any questions about pricing strategies, how to get a buyer the house that they want without having maybe to go all the way up to 50,000 over, anything like that, go back and listen to some of our other podcasts. We have a lot of great information on that. You can always reach out to Kelly specifically, talk to him directly. Kelly, where can they reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very accessible, guys. Passionate for this. If it doesn't show, I am, right? And I'll continue to be passionate and act silly probably because I just love it, this profession so much. But they can reach me by email at info@kellycookhomes.com or phone 480-227-206-2028. That's my cell. You can text or call. Or they can go.
What if they're interested in building their own real estate team?
That's the hot button for me, right? That and investing in real estate are my two. Go to buildyourrealestateteam.com, buildyourrealestateteam.com, get the free document that tells you step-by-step how to do it. I would be flattered if you did, and very grateful if you then ping us and let me know that it helped your business in any way possible.
Absolutely. We will see you guys next week with another great topic. Let us know if you have any suggestions or anything that you want to hear about, and we'll be sure to cover it. Until then, we will see ya. See you, Kelly.
See you, Elizabeth. See you guys.
Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.